Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryanta, Vande Guru Paramparam. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Jnanarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Om Sahana Vavadu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Vidushavahai Om Shanti Shanti, Shanti. Ramanavami we celebrate as the birthday of Bhagavan Rama. We all know that if you go with history, the Ramayana's time frame as the Treta Yuga. And if you see the Lord Rama, the struggles, why are we worshipping Lord Rama? Are we worshipping Lord Rama to get all those troubles? If you see Bhagavan Rama as an Avatara Purusha, the kind of struggles Bhagavan Rama underwent, what are we trying to get? Are we trying to get those struggles, or are we really want those struggles to happen in life, or are we looking at the values, the qualities of Lord Rama? When I say qualities, in terms of overcoming the problems, the wise virtues, what are we trying? We are trying the values that could be imbibed in us. The way Bhagavan managed the situations or circumstances, right? We can say that stand out as an exception and lead the life. We can see that lot of cases where the challenges coming to Lord Rama, sending him to the jungle, 14 years of Vanavasam, and the struggles one by one after that. Correct? If you see Yoga Vasishtam as the Brahat Kriti, and from Bhagavan Rama one can learn these two attributes at a very high level. One is the own enlightenment, and other dimension as the welfare of the society as a Raja. Own enlightenment, knowing the true purpose of the life, understanding that, and taking care of the welfare of the society as a king. Rama as the embodiment of the dharmam. Rama as the embodiment of all the virtues. Atmano mokshartam jagat hidayaja. First part is basically own enlightenment and the good of the society. taking care of the welfare of the society. Right. So if you see our generation, how will we take these stories? Probably we may all say that these all are not applicable. Where is the question of going to jungle or fight and all? So a practical man like me, why should I bother? This may be a question. But are we facing challenges in life? Maybe the challenges can be insecurity of a job, or maybe you have to leave the job and go back to the native place or native town to take care of the parents, or the struggles that one will have from the professional space. Even children are also undergoing a lot of stress. Sometime back I was having a conversation with a professor, and the professor was saying a lot of even the students doing PhD, masters, etc., stressed out, and it's severely affecting their health, because 5, 6 years or 7 years doing the PhD and not getting any results, and the pressure from the society, pressure from the academics, and one's own pressure that I am not settled in life. So these are the different challenges that are coming to us from profession, from the society, from our thoughts, etc. See, the essential oneness is the subject of Yoga Vasishta. And Rama, as an Avadara Purusha or a Yuga Purusha, how he managed, one part is basically the finding out the purpose in life, and the other part is basically taking care of the people around, so that you are not getting affected. Correct. So that is one of the fundamental values, or one of the or two of those attributes that one has to inculcate in life. And otherwise, if you see, Rama is the embodiment of dharma, righteousness. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma, as the embodiment of righteousness. But when you say righteousness, the kind of value structures, ethics, and doing the good things for a broader society. So this is one of the super powers or capabilities we should inculcate, we should understand, the power of righteousness. And the other part is the power of unselfishness. If you see the stories, when Bhagavan was asked to go to jungle, right, even Lakshman says that we should do a shortcut, and even lot of ideas were given to Lord Rama by Lakshman. So where Lord Rama acts in a unselfish way, driven by the core values, driven by the core principles, moving out of the ego and thinking about where I stand and what is my relation with the community, the society. As a person, how should I deal it in a cool or a composed way? Bhagavan managing it. So this is the power of unselfishness one should have. And the other one is basically the power of discrimination. When we say one side is fulfillment of life, knowing who you are, we know the quality of discriminative intelligence, the power of discrimination. What is the power of discrimination? Knowing what is nityam, what is anityam, what is permanent, what is not permanent. So I am beyond all these anatma. I am the Atma. And I have to depend upon the Atma rather than the Anatma Vastu. This is the power of discrimination. Then comes the power of equanimity. If you see the samachittada, the even keel attitude, equanimity, or the Bhagavad Gita's language, it's sthita prajnatva. How in a composed or a cool way addressing the problems and not getting affected. So the power of righteousness, the power of unselfishness, the power of equanimity, then the power of inner freedom. That is so called as the expansion of the consciousness happen. The Purna Avabodha. Who am I? What is my true nature? Who truly am I? Am I this limited body, mind, intellect, sense? No, I am something beyond. So that is what the power of inner freedom. When problem comes to us, deriving the strength from within. When you say inner freedom, it is basically depending on that strength. Abhayam. When we are lost in the world, it is the state of bhayam or fear. How to overcome bhayam? To take abhayam in the higher power. Correct? So, in the Vishnu Puranam, there is the definition of Bhagavan. Who is Bhagavan? Who is an evolved soul? Aishwaryasya samagrasya dharmasya yashasasriya vairagyasya mokshasya Shannam Bhaga Idirid. Aishwarya. Aishwarya meaning what? In this context, if you see the power of equanimity, the Sthita Prajnata, Samabuddhi. How equiposed are you? Aishwaryam. Then Dharmam, the power of righteousness in life. Aishwaryam, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Dharmasya, Dharma. Dharmasya, Yashasasriya. Yashas and Sri. Yashas and Sri meaning what? The fame, the power. The power and the fame comes from unselfishness. Will come from selfless attribute, unselfishness. So, Aishwaryam, Dharmam, Yashas, Sri. Then comes the Vairagyam. Vairagyam is the dispassion. Vairagyam is dispassion. Dispassion is what? Non-attachment towards the objects, Namarupam, and attaching to the core, attaching to Satta and detachment from the Asat. Vairagyam, and finally is Moksham. Moksham is what? The inner freedom. If you see the power of righteousness, power of unselfishness, the power of discrimination, power of equanimity, power of inner freedom. These are the values or attributes one should learn from Lord Rama. And as per Vishnu Puranam, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Dharmasya, Yashasasriya, Vairagyasya, Moksham, Shannam, Bhaga Idirita. So who is a Bhagava? Who is called as a Lord? Who is called as an evolved soul? The one who has got these attributes. What are those attributes? What are those attributes? Aishwaryam, Dharmam, Yashasasriya, Vairagyam, Moksha. The power of righteousness, the power of equanimity, the power of the power of discrimination, power of detachment, power of inner freedom. So Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Hidayaja. One has to evolve from the deficiency needs to the being needs. Deficiency meaning always at the bottom of the pyramid. And if you see the dimensions of our wellness, we know at a physical plane what all things one should do. We don't need any scripture to understand how many times we should eat, what should I drink, right? What is the best drink for summer season, etc. Right? That way everyone will take care. But when it comes to creating or building values, equipping us with values, what we need is basically the meditative mind. That's where the Swadhyayams, Nirandara, Sravana, Manana, Dhyanam plays a role. Doing the Japa sadhanas, the rituals, having the right association, Satsangam. And we can collectively say that a meditative mind will prepare us for the yoga sthiti. And the other part is basically, as we all are individuals, we are living in this world, we all have responsibilities in life. We have to execute those responsibilities, not getting affected. When we say getting affected, lost in the material world. So that is where Bhagavan says, do actions as a worship to me, karma as karma yogam, where you get equipped with prasada buddhi and well-being of you, and beyond that, well-being of the world. Hidam Atmano Mokshaya Jagat Hidayaja. Hidam of the world, the betterment of the world. So one has to evolve from the plane of ego to ecosystem. That is what we can learn from Lord Rama. Ego to ecosystem. If you see in the forest also, nothing conducive, right? Creating own ecosystem there to overcome the struggles, overcome the difficulties. So for that, one should know what is your true personality. Am I the anatma vastu? So from Tattwabodha we are learning that you are not the anatma, you are the atma. So we'll start with the Tattwabodha, rest of the slokas. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hidarthaya Tattwabodho Bhidiyate. So now, if you see our previous sessions, the first and foremost aspect that we discussed was the qualification. What are the attributes that you need to know the self, to understand what is self-knowledge, right? To know about yourself. What are the qualities? If you recollect, what are the 4 Ds? Discrimination. Dispassion. Desire. And discipline. Right? So discrimination, dispassion, desire and discipline. And discipline is the Samadhi, Shatka Sampatti. Discrimination is Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivegam. Discipline is, desire is Mumukshutvam. And dispassion is Vairagya, right? I am not going into all those terms now. Then we started looking into the microcosmic perspective, like who am I? The Veshti Vijaram, the Jiva Vijaram. So that is where we have seen these slokas or these core aspects, like you are not the anatma. And what are those anatma vastus, if you can remember? The 3 bodies, Shariratrayam, Stula Sukshma Karanam. You are not that. You are not those. You are not the three Sharira, right? Sharira Trayam. Then the Avastha Trayam, Jagrat, Swapnam, Sushupti, you are not any of these. You are the Avastha Traya Sakshi. And are you the five Kosham, Pancha Kosham? Annamayam, Pranamayam, Manomayam, Vijnanamayam, Anandamayam? No. These all are possessed by me. So the true I is different. Right? You are not the Anatma. You are the Atma. Now, Shishya asks, Atma Tarhi Ka. What is Atma? Atma's attributes are Satchidananda Swaroopam. Then the Shishya asks, Sadakim Kalatrayevi Tishtadidi Sat. So the one which doesn't change in the three kalam, past, present and future. Then Chid Kim. Chid is what? Chid is Jnana Swaroopam. Chid is all about the consciousness. Sat is all about existence. Chid is all about consciousness. Ananda ka. Then Shishya asks, Ananda is Sukha Swaroopam. Ananda is Sukha Swaroopam, meaning the bliss principle. So the pure existence, consciousness, bliss principle. That is the definition of Atma. Atma Tarhika Satchidananda Swarupa. Sadka, Chidka, Anandaka. So ultimately, the true reality is pure existence, consciousness, bliss principle. This is what Guru says. And Sat is existence. When we say existence, what is existence? Existence is the easeness. The easeness. I-S, easeness, not the ease, easeness. And Anandam is basically what? Anandam is the absolute bliss. And now what we will do is we will start looking into the study of creation, the macrocosm, right? When it comes to the microcosm, we are clear. We are not the Anatma, we are the Atma. And the nature of Atma also is clear. Now, what is the definition of universe? How one can understand? How can one know the creation process? It's all about the macrocosm. And that is where we now have to understand one essential aspect. Jivan, Jagat, right? Jivan and Jagat. It is easy for us to comprehend this. Jivan meaning my own existence in this body, this manifested entity, interacting with all of you, interacting in this world. When I say interaction, it is all about the world. You all are in the world, right? My interactions with you is the interaction with the world. The birds are chirping. This is also part of the world. The things that I see, it's also a world. And the underlying unifying factor called as the Ishwaran. And this is the common thread between the Jivan and the Jagat. And this underlying unified principle, we are in that principle. We are that principle. That is where we call it as the Brahman, Atma, in different terms and terminologies. As per Srimad Bhagavatam, Vadandidat Tattwavedas Tattvam Yat Jnanam Advayam Brahmedi Paramatmedi Bhagavani Shabdyate. The same principle is there within us. When you say within us as a microcosm and the Jagat, we can call it as the macrocosm. the unifying principle is same. Bhagavan in Gita says, Matta paradaram nanyat kinjidasti dhananjaya. Mai sarvamidam prodam sutre maniganai. I am the common thread. Now, Jivan, Jagat and Ishvara. And the cause of individuals and Jagat is what? The cause of individuals and individuals and Jagat is what? Individuals and Jagat is what? Cause for individuals and Jagat is what? Is the existence. You exist, Jagat exists. Is the isness principle. And you are also part of this Jagat. And this is the same unifying principle. So in order to understand the true nature, we need to go inward and see who truly am I. Now, the definition of universe is coming. Let us see the verse. Adha chadurvimshadi tattotpatti pragaram vakshyama. Now, we will explain the evolution of the universe. Chadur Vimshadi Utpatti Pragara, the evolution of the 24 factors. The evolution of the 24 factors. When we say the 24 factors, we will see what are those factors. Okay, so the 24 factors. The first 5 are the Pancha Mahabhudam. When you say Pancha Mahabhudam, Agasham, Jalam, Vayu, Agni, Prithvi. The space, water, air or wind, fire and earth. Right, the Pancha Mahabhudam. Then the 5 Pancha Jnanendriyas. What are the 5 Pancha Jnanendriyas? The ears, skin, eyes, tongue and the nose. We understand the Shabdam, Sparsham, Rupam, Rasam, Gandham. So the 5 Pancha Jnanendriyas. The first 5 is what? The Pancha Mahabhudam. Next 5 is Pancha Jnanendriyam. Then the third 5, the 5 organs of actions, Karmendriyam. What are the 5 organs of actions? Vaka, Pani, Padam, Payu, Upastha. The organs of speech, hands doing the actions, motion, movement, the legs, organs of excretion and the organs of reproduction. 5 Karmendriya, Pancha Mahabhudam, Jnanendriyam 5, 5 Karmendriyam. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. Now the 5 Pranas. What are the 5 Pancha Pranan? Pranan, Apanan, Vyanan, Samanan and Udanan. We all know this. The Pranan is basically the respiration, the inhalation and exhalation. Apanan is removal of waste. Vyanan does the circulation. Samanan is basically does the role of digestion. And Udanan is basically the reversing system. So these are the 5 pranas. So now if you add up 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 20. Now 4 more. What are those 4 more? Those are the Andhakaranam. The 4 thought modifications. We call it as Manasa, Buddhi, Ahangaram, Chitta. When you say manas, what is manas? How can you define manas? How can you define manas? Thoughts is a huge, site of processing the thoughts, and also the direct supervisor of the senses. Mind is the direct supervisor of senses, right? Sense will fetch it, and the direct supervision happens at the mind. Then you apply the buddhi. Then you take some, logic or decision based on that. Manas, then buddhi. Buddhi is what? Buddhi is basically the deciding factor, the judging factor, discriminative faculty. We can call it as a higher mind. Then comes the ahangaram. What is ahangaram? Ahangaram is the ego, the sense of identity. Correct. Then comes the chittam. Chittam is what? Chittam is the cosmic intelligence. When we say chittam, chittam has the storage of the impressions. We can say it's a memory bank. Correct. So manasa, buddhi, ahangaram, chittam. We can say it's the four wheels. Four wheels. And what is the body for these four wheels? The body, the chassis is basically the consciousness. Isn't it? And how you will use the discriminative capacity? How one can use the discriminative capacity? One can use the discriminative capacity when the buddhi is final. So, a meditative mind can only create a sharp buddhi. And please be mindful here. The four compartments of the mind, manasa, buddhi, ahangaram and chittam, are they or will they undergo the modifications? We know the sixfold modifications. Asti, jayade, vardhade, vibrinamade, apakshiyade, vinashyati. Are these undergoing the modifications? The andhakaranam, will they undergo the modifications? Will they undergo the modification or not? Whether your mind change or not?
Yes.
Obviously. So all these 24 elements, what are the 24 elements? 5 Pancha Mahabhudam, Pancha Jnanendriyam, Pancha Karmendriyam, Pancha Pranan and the Andhakaranam 4. Are these, or will they undergo modifications or not? They all are subject to modifications. Now the interesting topic is coming. What is Maya? What is Maya? Brahmashraya Sattva Rajas Tamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. Brahmashraya. Very profound. Brahmashraya. What is Brahmashraya? Maya is Brahmashraya. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Gunatmika, Maya Asti. So the Maya has got the Triguna, the qualities of gunas, 3 gunas. What are those 3 gunas? Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. And from where the Maya comes, or what is the dependence of Maya? Dependence of Maya is on Brahman. Brahmashraya. Brahmashraya, Maya, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Gunatmika. Now the question comes. What is the cause of Maya? Or we said that Maya has got these three gunam. And what is the cause of Maya then? What is the cause of Maya? No, Brahma Ashraya. Maya depends on Brahman. What is Maya? Maya is something that undergoes modification. Maya is something that undergoes modification. Then what is the truth of Maya? Tell me. What is the substratum of Maya? What is the substrate of Maya? Because the cause is Brahma Ashraya Maya. And Maya is something that is undergoing modifications. And now Maya we can see. Prapancham we can see. Nama Rupam we can see. And Maya depends on Brahman. Correct. So when we say the Nama Rupams, what should exist before for the Nama Rupam to come? You are not following me. The truth should exist. The Brahman should be there. Because Brahma Ashraya Maya. Maya is depending on the Brahman. And when you see the names and forms, what do you need to understand? This is a part of Maya that is having the qualities of Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. And Atma is, Maya is depending upon Brahman. Then we can say truth alone existed before the names and forms or Nama Rupa. And whatever qualities that you see in the world comes from what? Comes from that truth. And that truth is changeless. Only the names and forms are changing. In another way, we can say Brahman and Maya are Anadi. And Maya depends on Brahman for the existence. Very simple. Have you seen the waves in the ocean? Okay. And can we also relate like the waves of the ocean are there from the beginning? And what is the essence of the waves? It is ocean, the water. Waves are coming in that ocean, and waves started coming from the beginning. Waves subside, waves again come, going back to the water. What is the truth here? Is there an independent existence to the waves alone? It cannot be. Water and wave, they are from the beginning, but wave is not having any independent existence. Similarly, Maya, the Nama Rupam, existed from the beginning, from the time of Brahman. When we say existed, it's Anadi. Brahma Ashraya Maya. Maya depends on the Brahman. And Maya is the Nama Rupam. And Maya is not having any independent existence. Maya's existence is that truth. That existence, consciousness, bliss principle. And now let us look Maya from the matter universe, this universe. This universe also existed from the beginning in a seed form, in a potential form. Let us take the example of a seed that becoming as a big tree. In the potential form, the tree, is it existing inside the seed? Is it existing? In the potential form, whether the tree is existing inside the seed. Is it? It is. So now Brahman and Maya, the Shakti. When you say Maya, the Shakti, it is Anadi, beginningless. And Maya is the Shakti of the Brahman. And what is Brahman? Brahman is the existence. Maya is the Shakti. In the Lalita Sahasranama, Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupinye Namaha. So the faculty of power or Shakti is coming from where? From where the faculty of Shakti is coming? From the... Where the power of Maya is coming from?
Brahman.
It is from the Brahman. It's like the two sides of a coin. And the Maya has got the influence or quality of the Trigunam. What are the Trigunam? Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. Maybe if you go back, if you are able to recollect the 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we all will be able to appreciate the Para Prakriti and the Ashtada Prakriti, 8 Apara Prakriti. You all remember? Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. What is Para Prakriti? Para Prakriti is the existence principle. Para Prakriti is the Brahman. Apara Prakriti is the Maya. Para Prakriti is the higher principle. Apara Prakriti is the lower principle. Now, if you try to bring a formula like this, things minus existence is equal to things minus existence is equal to what? Things minus existence is equal to
not existing.
Yeah, it is zero, cannot exist. So then what is the reality? Reality is existence only, the isness only. Because there is no independent existence for the things. That is why in the last session we have seen Brahman, that principle is not a product of the body. It is not a part of the body. It is not even a property of the body. And as per Srimad Bhagavatam, this Brahma Tattvam is referred as Anvaya Vedirega Bhavam. Anvaya Vedirega Bhavam. So in this body, that principle is shining. That is why I am able to act. And that principle doesn't need this body for existence. For this body to exist, this body needs that principle. And vice versa is not true. And that principle is na utpadyam, cannot be created. Na apyam, that cannot be obtained, yes. Na samskaryam, samskaryam meaning what? Samskaryam meaning you produce it, produce, mix and something you produce. Na samskaryam, na utpadyam, na apyam, na samskaryam, na vikaryam. Na vikaryam meaning it is not subject to change, because the modifications will not happen for that principle. Na vikaryam, na kartrutva bhoktrutva rupam. There is no enjoyership or doership for that principle. But for us to act, that principle has to be there. That principle should shine. Now, if you say na kartrutva bhoktrutva rupam, then now question is, who is creating the superficial personalities or the identities for us? Now, what is creating? Is basically the andhakaranam, the 4 compartments of the mind. What are those 4 compartments of the mind? What are the 4 compartments of the mind? Manasa, Buddhi, Ahankaram and Sattva. Right. So this is the the ego developing equipment, the Andakarana. Now we understood that all the 24 principles, the Andakarana is also included in the 24 principles, right? And is the Andakarana also a modifiable thing? Obviously, because the Shadvigaram is applicable for Andakaranam, Panchabhudam, Panchajnanendriyam, Panchakarmendriyam, Panchapranan. Then, you, the non-modifying bodham, is not having any kartrutva, bhoktrutva, rupam. There is no enjoyership or doership for you, the isness, your existence. Then what is creating the superficial identity in all of us? The so-called, the assumed personalities. What is creating? The Andhakaranam is creating. And now if you question that, the personalities created by the Andhakaranam, is it existing forever? Is it existing forever? Cannot. That is where we always say Andhakarana Shuddhi is very important. The Ajnanam is happening in the Manas. And Ajnanam can only be removed through Jnanam. And now there are two powers of the Maya. If you see the Maya has got two powers. The first power is called as the Avarana Shakti, called as the wheeling power. Or maybe in another way we can say Agrahana. The ignorance, the nature of ignorance that covers the truth. And the other power is the projecting power, or called as the Viksheva Shakti. In another way we can say Anyadagrahanam. You will be able to understand Agrahanam and Anyadagrahanam. What is Agrahanam? Agrahana is basically not knowing who truly are you. That is Avarana, not knowing. And the other one is Vikshepam, the projecting power is basically what? Anyadagrahana. You are identifying yourselves with something else. In the place of the correct identification, you are identifying yourself with something else. So called as this Swabhava. First one is what? You are not understanding your Swaroopam. That is Avaranam. Ignorance, the wheeling power. Agrahana. Not able to do the Grahana. Not able to comprehend. The other one is what? Comprehending something in the place of other. Comprehending that you are this name and form, so and so, the kind of identities. So, Agrahanam is not knowingness. Anyadagrahanam is basically misidentifying. And if you see Avarana or the Agrahanam is basically, it is the nature of ignorance. And Viksheva or the projecting power is Anyadagrahanam. That is basically the restlessness that one creates. The mind is restless and mind is trying to identify with something, right? Connecting and wrongly recognizing that, yeah, this is what. So that is where, we all become samsari. When the Viksheva Shakti, Vikshepam is basically Anyadagrahanam. You are trying to identify yourself with something else. And you are becoming miserable. So, Anyada Grahana is basically what? The misunderstanding. Misunderstanding of what? Misunderstanding of what? Misunderstanding of what? Misunderstanding of our true nature and identifying with something else. Identifying with the Nama Rupam instead of identifying yourself as the existence, consciousness, bliss principle. Is it clear? Agrahanam and Anyadagrahana, or we can say Avarana Shakti and the Viksheva Shakti. Now, we know that is there any independent existence for Maya? Is there any independent existence for Maya? Is there any independent existence for Maya? No. If you go back to the 7th chapter, Jnana Vijnana Yogam, Bhagavad Gita. Apareyam idastanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhudam mahabaho yayedam dharyade jagat. So there is a spirit principle and there is a matter principle. Humans are the summation of Abara Prakriti and Para Prakriti, Anatma and Atma. And when we identify ourselves with the Jada Vastu, the Anatma Vastu, then we are in the world of samsara. So one has to understand what the Jiva Bhuda Mahabaho Yayedam Haryade Jagat. The pure consciousness is my higher nature. My higher nature is Para Prakriti. I am not Abara Prakriti. I am not the one who is undergoing the modifications. I am not the one who is so called as body, mind, intellect, senses. Those all are jadam, those all are inert. For those inert things to work, what is really needed? What is really needed? The Atma, the Brahman. So the Maya has got 3 qualities. What are those qualities? We all know that. Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. What is Sattvam? Sattvam is all about purity characterized by knowledge. Sattvam is all about knowledge. Then Rajas is what? Rajas is more towards the action orientation. The nature of activity is Rajas. Tamas, what is Tamas? Tamas is more about the lethargy or the inertia. Now, if you see, we all have these 3 gunas. Everything in this universe are comprised of the 3 gunas. And the gunas mixed in different permutations and combinations. Not only guna, again the influence of these 24 elements, Panchabhudam, Karmendriyam, Jnanendriyam, Panchapranan, Andhakaranam. In that, when you say Chittam and all the vasanas, all the impressions, and the 3 influence of the gunas, we can have permutations and combinations out of these modifiable objects. So then, can we say the personalities differ due to the permutation and combinations of these Anatma Vastus? Can we say that? So now please understand that is why individuals are individuals. But what is the underlying or the unifying principle? You, the existence, consciousness, bliss principle. That is pervading everywhere. In fact, we are in that principle. Isha vasimidam sarvam or Atma vasimidam vishwam. We are in that principle. And that principle is the common thread between Jivan and Jagat. And to know that principle, it is easy for us to look inward and see who truly are we. Let's also bring another dimension here. For any created objects, we all are the manifestations in that reality. Correct? There are two causes. Let us understand this. The material cause is called as the Upadana Karanam. Material cause is the Upadana Karanam. And there is also the efficient cause, or called as the Nimitta Karanam. Upadana Karanam, material cause, and the Nimitta Karanam, or the efficient cause. Let us try to understand from the analogy of a pot and a potter. Pot, what is there in the pot? What is the material? What is the material that we use for pot? Pot. It's a clay, bud, clay. That is a material cause. So maybe at least our generation will see all those things. After some time we will not be able to see. The clay is the material. And the pots are made by whom? Potter. Is it correct to say the material cause and the efficient cause are different in this case? Because clay is the material for the pot and the pot is made by potter, right? And now if you see the world, the 5 elements are the material cause. Agasham, Jalam, Vayu, Agni, Prithvi. And that is the part of Maya. What existed before Maya? The truth only. And the Maya borrows strength or power from that truth. Then in that case, can we say Brahman as the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam? Brahman as the cause for both material and efficient? Are you with me? So that's why the Shruti says Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. So the efficient and material cause for this world, including our own existence, is what? The Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam, that is Brahman. In Chatusloki Bhagavatam, the verse is like Ahameva Samevagre Nanyat Yat Sadasatparam. Ahameva Samevagre. I am the one who exists in all kalam. Na anyad yada sada asatparam paschadaham yadedaschayo avashishye yadasosmiham. And if the dissolution happens, what will be there after a dissolution? I only. When I say I, the universal consciousness. Ahameva sameva agre nanyat yat sadasatparam paschadaham yadedascha yo avashishye dasosmiham hridertham yat pradiyeda na pradiyeda jatmani tadvidyad atmano maya yada bhaso yada damaha. So everything will emerge from what? will emerge from that truth. Clear? Are you all with me?
Yes.
So, abhinna nimitta upadana karanam is Brahman, and we are that. Or if you see, in dream, what is happening? Who creates the dream? Who creates the dream?
Right.
The mind is creating. In dream, who is creating the dream? Is the waking mind creating the dream? Waking mind. Mind is creating the, right? Mind is having the projections. That is why we are having the dream. Correct. That's what the waking mind alone is. The mind is active there. If the mind is not active, you cannot have dream. And the mind is doing the job of creation, sustenance. And who destroys this dream? Tell me. Mind only destroys the dream. Then can we say the dream is an illusion? Because when you wake up, because in the dream you are bankrupt. Or forget about not bankrupt. In the dream, yeah, you are a millionaire. Yeah, and many people are supposed to give money to you, right? And in the waking state, can you go and ask people, yeah, I am a millionaire. I'm supposed to get money from you. So I think when I use the term millionaire, everyone is happy. So our existence is only the real thing. Atma Satyam, and other things are Asatyam. Now we will see the evolution of 5 elements. What exactly is Srishti? And we understood that Srishti is Maya, and Maya is having the influence of Trigunam. And the base component of the Srishti is what? The Panchabhudam, Agasham, Jalam, Vayu, Agni, Prithvi. And the names and forms are basically the grossification of the Panchabhudam. Correct? Now we will see Tada Akasha Sambhuda Akashad Vayu Vayosteja Tejasa Apa Adbhyaha Pridhivi. Correct. From that, when we say that, Tada Agasha, from the Maya, space was born. Agasha. Tada Agasha Sambhuda Akashad Vayu. And Vayos Teja. Tejasa Apa. Adbhyaha Prithvi. So, from that Maya, and from where the Maya came, if you see the last one, Brahmashraya. Maya came from the Brahman. And from that Brahman, Maya came, and from that Maya, the Agasha came. From that Maya, the space was born. Agasham is born. And from space, what got born? Air. Agashat Vayu. Vayos Teja. Tejas meaning what? Fire. Now air to fire, then Tejasa Abha, from the fire, the water, Adhya Prithivi, ultimately from the water, the earth is born. When we say born, please understand that the subtler part of the Panchabhuta, right? This is the subtler part, and the solidification, you call it as Panjikaranam as per the Tattwabodha. So when the subtler part and followed by the solidification, the names and forms existed. So now we are talking about the Sukshma, the subtler part, right? Now please understand this, the space is the subtlest. See, please understand this, from Maya the space got formed. And the space is what? Space is the subtlest of the 5 elements. Isn't it? And the space has got the quality of what? The space has got the quality of what? If an aircraft is going 30,000 feet above, what will you perceive? Huh?
Only sound can be perceived.
Sound, absolutely. Sound, which is pervasive. That's why we represent the Agasha for the Pranava Mantram, Omkara Jabam, Omkara Nadam. Sound. Correct. So, now from space, from Agasham, what is born?
Air.
Air. Came from the air. Now air has got the quality of what?
Touch and sound.
Sound as well as the touch. It can be heard as well as felt, because the touch, heard also. So now it is becoming, from subtle to gross. I mean, this pervasiveness, less pervasiveness is coming, right? Air. Now from air, what came? Air. From air we get the fire. So then fire, can we say it has got the attributes of sound, touch, and Roopam, form. Agni. Agni can be seen, Agni can be visualized. So it can be heard, it can be felt, it can be seen. Now next.
One question was there. Actually, according to science, the sound will not travel through actual space, right? It needs some medium. That space.
This is a different concept, because we are not talking about the medium. We are talking about space actually. Even for us to be there, this manifested thing to be there, you need a space. We are referring that. To accommodate you, to equip you, to keep you, there is space needed, right? This is not the medium which is needed for the sound to propagate and all. That is different thing.
Okay.
So now from air, fire has come. Fire has got sound, touch and form. It can be heard, it can be felt, it can be seen. Now from fire, what has come? Fire to
water.
Tejas to Abha. Correct. Tejas, the fire to water. So then it will have sound, it will have touch, it will have form, it will have taste also. But water is essentially tasteless. Correct. Do we agree that water is essentially tasteless, but the sapidity of water, right? Technically speaking, it is tasteless, but due to the sapidity of the water, we get the taste through the other things. For example, if water is added in your batter, and ultimately that has a final object or converted as the dosha, you get the taste. But essentially water is tasteless. But the taste is possible due to the water. You agree with me? So from fire, the water has come, and water has got sound, touch, form and taste. And now last is earth. Earth is grossest and we can say least pervasive now. So what are the attributes of earth? Sound, touch, form, taste and smell. When the rain falls on the earth, falls on the ground, but we usually perceive the smell also. And these all are the sukshmam. When this sukshmam solidifies, right? This sukshmam solidifies and mixes with the three qualities of the Maya. What are those three qualities of Maya? Three qualities: Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. Right? That is where the solidification, the grossification happens. Is it clear? The evolution of 5 elements? Any questions?
The last point, can you repeat that?
See this sukshma bhudam, right? These all are sukshma bhudam. Though we mentioned these 5, from fire the water came, from water the earth came. These all are sukshma, not at the state of grossification or solidification. Clear? So when the qualities of Maya like Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas, the Sukshmam mixed with the Maya's 3 attributes of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, the solidification process will start. We have not entered into that. This is what I mentioned. This is at the Sukshma level, not even at the grossest level. Is that clear?
Yes.
I think it's becoming more tough. The evolution of 5 elements and again the influence of Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas, and now we will go into depth of how the Sattvam comes, Tamas comes, Rajas comes. So the universe, the principle of universe is what we are going to explain, and then we will come back and understand the underlying factor of the universe and ultimately the essential oneness of Jivan and Jagat as the Ishwaran. And we will conclude with the Tatvamasi Mahavakya. Right? That is how it is structured. Any questions from anyone? So far, all the topics that we covered in Tattwabodha, is it clear for all of us? Any questions?
I had one question. So when Karmendriyam we are saying, just to clarify furthermore, if a person, because it is only at the sthula level that eyes is not seen, but somebody is, we are saying blind, it's only at the sthula level his organ is eyes as an organ is not working. That's where the moment as we place some other eyes to them, the sukshma is still working. That is, he is able to still, he has the ability to see, but only the golaka, as they say, if I'm right.
Correct.
It is the golaka which is not the working, but the nanendriyam is working still, if I'm right.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Even for a blind or a deaf or anybody,
Correct.
the nanendriyams are all working.
Yeah.
Only the actual stulapathic parts are not working.
Yeah,
Am I right?
yeah, the equipment, we can say the
Equipment.
so-called equipment is not functional, but the inner attributes for that equipment to function are still working. You are right, absolutely right.
But just to clarify, if suppose somebody get paralytic attack, no, they are not able to move the hand or something. Again, it is all at the physical side only.
Only at the physical.
And the karmendriyams are all working. He is able. It's all we have to envisage in such a way that it is the inner things are all working, but only the outer stula is not functioning.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
Thank you.
Correct. See, even the visualization that one can have, without the eyes. If you see the creativity, the visualizations, the designs one can make, the blind people can make also, right? We have to really appreciate it. It is not through the final equipment, right? That faculty is already there. Only what lacks is that outside faculty is not there. But the superiority that one that person is having in terms of creative mindset and all is still there, but the exterior faculty is missing, right? Yeah, you are absolutely right. That is how we should understand. Now that is also a trigger for us, right? So without those faculties also one can understand even our existence also. You don't need to go and look at a mirror. When you close your eyes or even when you are in deep sleep, there is no question of our own existence. It means what? We are not the gross. Even the subtler mind, intellect, etc. We are much, much beyond that, and that is the truth. And we are that truth. We are the Atma. And that Atma is not the Anatma. And the Atma doesn't need Anatma. But the Anatma needs Atma for the existence. We call Anatma as Maya, as the Apara Prakriti, Ashtada Prakriti, names and forms. And Para Prakriti, the truth, as the Asti Bhadi Priyam, existence, consciousness, bliss principle. And we are that truth, and that should be our identity. And we possess these names, forms, material world things. But our true identity is that Satyam. Atma Satyam Tadanyat Sarvam Mithya Idi. Clear?
Clear. Last question, sorry. In the 24, why the Panchakosha was not there? Is it anything? Why the reason is that we discussed on Panchakosha as one of the sheets,
Yes.
which is covering us because you said that no, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. But in the 24, why it should be 29? Why not Panchakosha? It's just
In the 5 elements itself, Annamayam, Pranamayam, Manomayam, Vijnanamayam, Anandamayam. Right. We can even represent the Panchabhudam.
okay.
Right. That is one thought, one school of thought. Otherwise also there is nothing wrong. But
Okay,
this is
just wanted to
implied. This is implied
Okay,
in the
implied.
Panchabhudam. That is the only reason.
Okay.
So anything else from anyone? Any questions? Okay, so we will stop here. We will chant the mantram. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmana va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sagalam Parasmai Narayanayi Samarpayami Sarvam Narayanayi Samarpayami. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.